Ryan, this one's for you, brother. Okay, now only one of these parts have anything to do with the Delray build. This is just a how-to. This is something we haven't covered in a long time. Got a lot of new guys in, and the smart thing to do is to go back over. So, shooting Alclad. Alright, let's set the table, for lack of a better phrase. 12 pounds, okay? Dial it down till it's just a fine, fine mist spray, okay? Stripped the parts, okay? And there's two things that have to be acknowledged on this, okay? First off, if you look at the bumper on the Delray, the rear bumper, you'll see two lines on it, okay? And they shouldn't be there. Now, what I have here is the bumpers for the 57 Ford, okay? Same malady. They shouldn't be there. They are. So I shot easy off oven spray, stripped them, sanded off the mold lines, and now we're going to shoot them with the Alclad. Now when you're shooting Alclad, okay, you have to have a gloss black surface, okay? As you can see, they're all ready to be shot, okay? You want that to be as glossy and smooth as you can possibly get it, okay? So they're ready to go. Now, when you're shooting this, okay, you want that needle dialed down so that you got the finest spray coming out. And there were people that would point the finger at me and go, "You're an asshole, you're wasting all that." No, because what we're shooting here, or for the target that we're shooting for, is we want this to look about as lifelike as we possibly can get it, okay? Now, it's been brought to my attention before. Mike DeSorbo and I, as I indicated in a previous segment, have talked about this, and we've played with this. And Michael is an anal retentive ass, just like I am. So he said to me, he said, "I'm still getting that, like that blackish look to it, okay? What you have to do is set it aside. If you have to, this stuff dries almost instantly. Let's say that right off the get-go. But the thing of it is if you let it sit for a day, go back, you can bring it out and you can light mist coat it again, okay? And that seems to work pretty good, especially if it doesn't cover the way that you want it to right away, all right? But you gotta stay away from this, and you gotta be shooting at an angle on it, okay? You can either have a constant, perpetual push down on the button and let it flow and just move the part accordingly all over and just let it hit from all different angles, or you can just, just like small light bursts. You gotta be watching, you gotta be careful with that, because a light burst, you have to start out here and then go across, say you're shooting a bumper, okay? This stuff is not that difficult to work with. It does a pretty damn good job. Like I said, if you're not happy with it and it's still got that little bit of a blackish gloss to it, then what you do is you just bring it back out, you add a little bit more. And like I said, the lighter the coats, the shinier it gets, which is what we're shooting for. Now, one other thing that I was alluding to, if the chrome pieces, say you're shooting valve covers, okay, and the valve covers coming right out of the off the sprue are in damn good shape, you can simply just shoot the black over top of that and then add the Alclad, and for whatever reason it seems to be shinier. And now I've done that with the 66 Nova tunnel ram and everything else like that. It seemed to work out pretty good. So let's see if we can do this today. Make sure you shake this up, okay? And like I said, you're going to use a little bit of this. But once again, you want to play you gots to pay. All right, needles down. Pressure set at 12. Okay, now, as I said, angles. Constant motion. Alright, we'll let that one sit. Now, if you get in too close with this, you might get an aluminum look on it. Don't despair. You can always go back and, like I said, get away from it at an angle, and you can pick up the chrome look again. Alright, what do we got here? Yeah, we'll go with the pumpkin for the Del Rey. jar. And do the light, a little bit lighter here. I'm going to dial this a little tighter. Alright kids, that's all there is to it, okay? Rye, I think the only thing that you did wrong on your 64, you had some splotches, which is all part of the learning process. You got to turn your needle down a little bit, and that way you're not getting as much of the material, and you're getting a better mix by turning it down where you get a finer spray. I mean, the 64 looked great, kid. And like I said, this is just practice. You know, it's just something that's going to come with time and just doing it over and over again. I think the way that I learned to do it best was I'd strip a bunch of parts and then I'd just play. And that's the best way you can do it. Is it as nice as the kit chrome? Probably not. But it's probably the best thing on the market. I've seen guys use Spastics and some of this other product that is out there, and I don't think anything really touches this. Mr. DeSorbos, you know, he's of the opinion that he likes this better than kit chrome. He said it gets a more realistic appearance, and I'm not going to argue with it, you know, along the lines of that. So this is what you got to do. Remember, 12 psi. Okay, turn down that needle. and shoot at an angle. Just keep it in constant motion. Let it just flow around. Just keep your hands spinning. And arms, you might have a little difficulty with this because you can't twist your wrists quick enough. You'll learn. 12 psi, light mist coats, constant turning on it. Set it off to the side. If you're not happy with it when you come back to it, you can always come back out and lay a little bit more. The idea of it is keep the atomization down to where it's just like a mist, and this stuff will go on. And like I said, you can see it's shiny. It is what it is, and it's still probably the best viable thing other than having it re-chromed, which try to find somebody that does that these days. Waste not, want not, right? And we didn't burn up but more than maybe, what, less than an ounce? Or a little bit more than an ounce. Keep that jar separate. That's all you use it for. And that way you don't get any junk or anything else into it. As I said, if the chrome is good off the tree, you can simply shoot the gloss black over top of it and not have to worry about it. And you'll still have the jump coming off of it. The most important thing though is to make sure that the surface and everything is clean and smooth. The last thing you want to do is have gunk in the black, the gloss black finish, because as soon as you hit the black with the Alclad chrome, it's gonna stick out like a real sore thumb, which is not very appeasing to the eyeball. So, hope this helped. Like I said, this was a refresher for some of you, but you know, we're gonna do this every once in a while. We're gonna go back over things, and that way everybody stays up on the curve where they belong. So until the next time, it's Jake and I from Lone Wolf Custom Painting. We'll see y'all next week. God bless. Have a great week.